Hi, it's Friday the 17th of October 2025. It's the Nate McMurray Show, the Sound of Niagara Podcast, coming to you from Western New York, over Southern Ontario, the Niagara region. All right, let's jump into it. Now, I don't even understand why people are so supportive of Trump right now. I don't get it. I mean, if you go to the store, it's more expensive than ever. I mean, I get it. I mean, I know what you're going to say. I know all the reasons why people vote for the guy, good and bad, and mostly bad. And also the misinformation in the country, all these things. I get it. I get all of it. But, I still don't understand why people are sticking with him. I mean, is the country doing great right now? What am I missing? I mean, there's people in the streets getting beat up. There's Black Hawk helicopters coming down. I don't understand it. This weekend we have the No Kings protests. I keep saying it, be peaceful. He is salivating. He wants to beat you up. He wants to have an excuse to declare martial law. He wants to use the Insurrection Act. He just put, Bolden is now indicted. Apparently, he sent messages to his family of a confidential nature. Never mind the fact that our guys currently, Hegseth was using Signal to communicate the most sensitive secrets, war plans, or that Trump took, piles and piles of documents to his house. They're trying to go after Jack Smith. I mean, they're trying to go after everybody, okay? It's a different era. We are in a strange era right now. There's an old Soviet atom saying, show me the man, I'll show you the statute. Basically, everybody can be guilty if the right prosecutor wants to take them out. It's so true. I mean, we've never had a completely clean justice system. Don't lie to yourself and think we have. But currently, the justice system is dystopian. It's dystopian. So you kind of know all the bad news, right? So why are we doing this podcast? To talk out while we can, all right? I believe that Trump will fail. There will not be long-term dictatorship in the United States. We have too much of a tradition of decency and goodness. And you might laugh at that, but I believe in America. I believe that over the course of history, America has been a force for good. It wasn't always a force for good, but given, comparatively to the rest of the world, it certainly was, and it can be again. And I saw the respect people had for America around the world, and I believe it's in our DNA to improve and to look at our past and say, this was wrong, let's fix it. There have been moments of right-wing populism and authoritarianism in the United States, McCarthyism. And if you go back farther, there was the America First movement, Lindbergh, bringing Nazis to America, advocating on behalf of Adolf Hitler in America. And guess what happened? It failed. And when it failed, when McCarthy was finally exposed as a fraud, overnight he lost all of his support and died basically a shamed man. So don't give up hope. As soon as the bubble pops, it pops, and we can move on. And I think it eventually will happen. In the meantime, we got to deal with the reality. And the reality is most of these people out there, they're happy to go along with authoritarianism. I thought growing up that all Americans had a sense that freedom was more important than order, even for terrible things, right? Like even for guns. I would be more restrictive on guns than most people. But most people are like, listen, it's better to have a little bit of violence than to have no guns. I disagree with that. I think everything's a balance. But, I mean, we're just giving up freedom of speech now, freedom of assembly. They're trying to tell you people that are bicycling naked or dressing up as frogs or unicorns are the equivalent to MS-13. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that? Are you willing to give up free speech for everybody this easily? Because if you're willing to give it up for somebody else, you're willing to give it up for yourself. And I play this sound every week. Spooky, right? That is the North Korean alarm bell. Yep, every morning, 5 a.m., this is the sound everybody hears. It wakes you up. I'm going to keep playing it as a warning to you. Paul Revere here saying, listen, this is what's coming for us. You want clean streets in LA? You want no protesters? Well, this is what it eventually ends up in. If you take away freedom, it ends up with alarms like this saying, get out of bed, time to clean the street. And this is what North Koreans hear every single morning. And Trump says, I love Kim Jong-un. He handles his country so well. He's such a great leader. Well, this is what he gives his people. Listen to this spooky, weird stuff. Every morning, 5 a.m., every single speaker, every radio plays this. And they have these short radio, like regional radios only to play this noise. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. It's nuts. All right, let's go to, but I guess to some of you it's worth it, right? Because your whole thing is like own the libs, right? Bash the libs, whatever you want to call it. It's worth it to you to give up freedom of speech and to listen to this every morning. You know, full-on dictatorship, martial law, no rules, no First Amendment, no Fourth Amendment. It's worth it to you to go after your enemies, to put Jack Smith in jail, to own the libs. It's worth it to give everything that we fought for, people have fought for 200 plus years. Give it all up for Trump so you can own the libs, so you can make fun of a guy like me. Go ahead. Go after those soy boys. This is what it's worth it to you? This is what you want to do? And you want to give up all these workers, and you don't, like, I see these guys, they don't want to work. I see these right-wing guys, they just drive around all day off government pensions. A lot of them were cops or firefighters, and they just want to drive around all day and listen to right-wing radio and complain. Well, there are people that actually keep the economy going. Good luck deporting every single person. Have you been to Florida? Have you been to Texas? Have you been to California? You would deport everybody. There's going to be nobody left, guys. And maybe that's what they want. They want to tank the whole thing. I'm going to talk about Larry Ellison and some others in a second, but let me talk about J.D. Vance here first. Watch this. This is J.D.
The reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry, focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. But
these aren't kids. So you may know what I'm talking about now. We're talking about all these chubby, and I'm sorry, someone said yesterday, stop fat shaming. Listen, when they're describing themselves as the master race, look at the picture in the lower corner here. This is what, J.D. Vance and this one of these right-wing activists who was, talking about the H-man and in much, much worse, comparing people to monkeys, et cetera, in group chats. J.D. Vance is like, it's a bunch of kids. It's no big deal. Meanwhile, how dare you call us fascists, even though our group chats are full of fascist rhetoric? It's so insane. I was 22 years old. I was married and had a household by the time. Some of these kids are older than that. They're not kids. They're adults. They're men. It doesn't look like men. Look at them. But, these are the guys that are going to be, talk about the master race. Look at these slovenly figures. When I attack their bodies, I don't really care what their bodies are like. But when you put yourself up as a paradigm of strength, like Pete Hegseth or any of these guys, or you're talking about the beauty of women all the time and how women are dogs and they have blue hair and nose rings and all libs are ugly, and you look like this, dear Lord. All right, moving on here for a second. Gotta find the next video. Excuse me. We're gonna go across here. We're gonna go right here. Swastika was spotted in a GOP congressman's room. Yeah, you heard me right. Here's some dystopian images kicking press out of the Pentagon. I mean, could you get a more dystopian image than that? Look at that. I mean, look at that. These are the reporters leaving the Pentagon. These are the reporters leaving the Pentagon, including the Fox News reporters who refused to listen to the new rules, basically saying you can't report on anything that Pete Hegseth doesn't like. That's the new rule. And they're like, we're not doing that. We believe in a free press. And, kudos to everybody, including Fox News. The only ones who wouldn't do it are the weirdo new news agencies, like the one run by MyPillow or whatever. So you're going into a dystopian state where even information is restricted. I mean, look at that. You think this looks normal to you? This is the Department of Defense, now called the Department of War. Okay, moving on.
I want to thank Steve.
the people who are saying this is Gestapo stuff, they're calling us Nazis.
The group chat members spoke freely about the love of Nazis.
They've called us Nazis, they've called us Hitler, they've called us fascists.
I love Hitler, leaked messages exposed.
If you don't obey them, they denounce you as a racist. Why do they keep calling us racist?
One of the messages referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people.
Stop demonizing us. Don't call us Hitler anymore. Don't call us Nazis.
One talked about sending political opponents to gas chambers to, quote, watch people burn now.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
The people.
Just think about this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be called those things? Well, maybe don't be one of those things. It hurts to be called a racist. It stings. Well, maybe don't be a racist. Maybe don't praise the Third Reich if you don't want to be included in the Fourth Reich. Watch this. This is a debate. Top Republican refuses to condemn the leaked pro-Yahtzee. I can't believe I have to even say that. We're not allowed to say the word Nazi when people are openly claiming to love Nazis and Hitler. We can't say it. I mean, our speeches are already restricted because if I say it, this will be banned. As if saying it or identifying someone who is it is worse than being it. Watch this.
Group chats, which I'm sure you condemn, right? This Nazi group chat.
Well, we can talk about it.
Do you condemn it?
I want to talk about it.
Wait, so when they said gas chambers,
disavow.
When they say gas chambers, you won't. So you're like JD Vance. You just won't condemn this?
Well, I actually had JD on the show today. We had a whole conversation.
You guys can all condemn this, right?
Hell yes.
Thank you.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
But
Chris, can you condemn that?
Here's the point, of course. But that's easy. What I'm
for him. But you know what?
You won't condemn
the
it.
people who are saying this is Gestapo stuff, they're calling us Nazis.
The group chat.
They're doing the straw man. Like, I can't believe they're doing this. It's so crazy. You are acting like it's like me putting a huge, anarchy sign and spray paint on the front of your house and you saying, hey, you're doing graffiti. You're vandalizing my home. And I'm like, how dare you use the V word? I'm an artist. I mean, they're splitting hairs over euphemisms. We all know what they're advocating for. When you're saying I want more white refugees, when you're saying it's more important to bring people here from South Africa who are white farmers than it is refugees from anywhere else, when you have Steve Miller on TV screaming, when you have group chats where you say you love the H-man, and again, it's already a restriction on free speech that I have to use the word the H-man instead of the real word, when you are advocating for the belief system of these repressive and reprehensible groups, and then you are angry because someone calls you out on it, sorry if it's not the right word or the right euphemism. I know those words are so toxic, but your behavior equates that toxicity.
I want to thank Stephen Miller, who's back in the audience right there. And I'd love to have him come up and explain his true feelings, but maybe not his truest feelings. That might be going a little bit.
Exactly. Trump doesn't even want this guy to talk out loud because they know behind the scenes he is truly repulsive. Stephen Miller, JD Vance, the whole gang, they have totally justified, made excuses for, and rationalized the worst belief systems in the world. Again, all right, look at this.
Across Europe.
And it's spreading. It's spreading. Whether we like it or not, the whole world follows America. I know some of my leftist friends won't want to hear that, but it's true. Go around the world. It's lessening. But the world's leader advocated for fascism and right-wing ideology, and now it's spreading to Japan. It's spreading all over Europe, even Germany. I've been to Germany many times. I spent a lot of time in Germany, actually. And Germany was like the most progressive, open-minded place in a lot of ways. And there's the last place you'd think you'd see a Nazi. But look at this.
The hard right is on the rise. But there's one big country where, despite its popularity, it's completely locked out of power. Germany. This is the AfD, the alternative.
Hold on.
It's a hard-right party that rails against immigrants, climate change policies, and Germany's support for Ukraine. And in this year's general election, more than 1 in 5 Germans voted for it. Because outright majorities are rare in Germany, national and state governments are usually formed through coalitions of various parties. But the AfD is kept out of power by what Germans call a Brandmauer, or a firewall. That means that every mainstream party refuses to work with it. Similar firewalls used to be found in many European countries. One by one, they've given way. But Germany's remains intact, in part because of the country's Nazi past. After the defeat of the Nazis, preserving democracy became a core part of West Germany's identity.
I'm just letting this play because I want you to understand what's happening.
Its post-war constitution gave the state the right to ban or restrict parties considered a threat to the democratic order. Some critics today would like to use those rules to ban the AfD, but that hasn't affected.
But who supports the AfD, by the way? Who supports the AfD? Who supports this Nazi-like party in Germany? Well, Elon Musk, of course, and JD Vance. They've both spoken at their rallies.
Oh, SpaceX!
Yeah, exactly. That Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, they've both spoken at rallies for this far, far, far right-wing group run by a lesbian woman who's married to an immigrant, by the way. It's so weird, the self-hatred. But yeah, that's who supports them. America's exporting fascism.
Like other European hard-right parties, the AFD has built a support base among voters who dislike immigration, the EU, and wokery. The party is especially strong in the former communist East Germany, where average incomes remain around 80% of those in the West, and loyalties to mainstream parties are weaker. But unlike in France or Italy, where the hard right has moderated as it approached power, the AFD is becoming more radical.
Again, this woman here you're looking at, she is a lesbian woman who was a banker, an elitist, right? One of the most elite people in the world, who is married to a woman, I think, from Sri Lanka. Again, the self-hatred runs deep. But in Germany, she runs the far-right party.
Wir brauchen Remigration, in Sicherheit leben zu können.
It has even attracted the attention of the state's intelligence services. In May, the AFD was formally decreed right-wing extremist by Germany's domestic intelligence agency.
Way to go. Can you imagine Germany, our ally, the domestic intelligence agency is labeling this party as extremist, but Elon Musk
SpaceX
and JD Vance are over there championing it and trying to get it elected. I mean, it's crazy.
Contesting
and they're
decision.
mad that we're calling them Yahtzees?
But if confirmed, it will allow for greater surveillance of the party. It will also fuel those calls for an outright ban, a move that would be highly controversial. Indeed, the AFD's support is only growing. Today, 1 in 4 Germans backs the party. In September 2026, the AFD could even win an absolute majority in Saxony-Anhalt, a state.
It's disturbing. But, okay, we talked about JD Vance and his little buddy down here. You see this chubby guy. And again, the anger when I call him chubby, I'm fat shaming. Yes, I'm fat shaming people who claim to be the master race, who are constantly attacking women, constantly attacking trans women, constantly attacking everybody and putting themselves out there as these paradigms of great strength and virtue, and they look like this. I'm attacking the irony of the situation. If you're mad at me about that, so be it. Don't listen to the podcast. They're slovenly, gross, slug-like men who I'm sure, because I've been in locker rooms with men, God forbid I say it, have inverted penises. When you get that big, sorry, it's graphic, I know, but I've seen it more and more. There's not much of a penis left. I don't know what's happening, whether the estrogen levels go up or whatever, but I'm thinking this is where their rage comes from. And if you're mad at me for fat shaming or body shaming or whatever else, sorry. But they're putting themselves out there as the master race, as these dominant alpha males, and they look like this, and they're posting about how other people are animals. I mean, look at this guy. Project much, you slug? I'm not even sure you're an animal. You're an insect of some sort. It's gross. Anyway, moving on. This is even scarier. This is Mr. Ellison, okay? He is one of Trump's biggest backers. He is advocating for a surveillance state that he thinks is going to keep us all in order. I mean, it's straight 1984 stuff. He owns Oracle, which, they're the big information system company. We were told to be fearful of TikTok. Well, they're taking TikTok over and they're going to create an algorithm to spy on everybody. You should be very worried about this. And I don't want to scare you, but it is scary because I know the power of TikTok. I know the power of social media. You can totally shape minds through it. Yes, you can. Absolutely. And when these people control it, the worst of the worst, we are going to have some absurd results. Watch this.
Keys to what hundreds of millions of people see on TikTok are about to be handed to a Zionist billionaire who has actively financially assisted the IDF.
By the way, nice face, buddy.
And who holds terrifying ideas about the role AI should play in our daily lives.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah,
weapons change over time.
You're 80 years old.
Fight with the weapons.
Put some more, fudge or whatever you're injecting into your face.
That apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are in social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok.
That was Israeli Prime Minister and genocidist Benjamin Netanyahu speaking last month on why TikTok matters for Israel's grip on power. Enter Larry Ellison, the 81-year-old Oracle co-founder and the world's second richest person, whose company is now set to take control of
this
TikTok's
guy is so rich. He's a little tall. He's like 6'3". He's so rich that his yacht, his super yacht, I think he's tall. I mean, could be wrong, but his super yacht has a basketball court on it, and there's another boat that follows it to get the balls when they go over the boat to collect balls. That is how wealthy this man is. If you saw his yacht, it looks as big as a city, and behind it is another small yacht just to collect basketballs.
In the US and to retrain its algorithm from the ground up. It's part of Donald Trump's TikTok deal, which transfers majority control of the app's American arm from Chinese owner ByteDance to a consortium of tech moguls and Gulf royals. The upshot is...
So now we're going to be spied on by Gulf royals and tech billionaires.
Oh, SpaceX!
Those guys, those SpaceX guys are going to be spying on you.
What 170 million US TikTok users see could effectively be shaped by a billionaire Republican mega donor.
Look at that
with
face.
Deep ties
Nice,
to
normal
Israel
face.
and its military.
Dye that weird beard.
For 2,000 years, we were a stateless people, and now we have a country of our own, defended by all the brave men and women of the IDF. So anything we can do to support them.
Ellison is the single biggest private donor to the Israeli Defense Forces. In 2017...
That, by the way, all of you support as well. By the way, you're wondering, well, how does the IDF, how does Israel, how does Netanyahu, which is a foreign government, this is not about the faith of the Jewish people. This is about, or the race. It's about their country. They have a parliament, they have a country, they have a military, all right? It was designed, yes, it's a little bit different because it was designed to protect an oppressed people. But they have a lobbying arm in the United States called AIPAC. And if you get in good with them, not only are you getting the money of AIPAC, but you're getting connected to their donor base, which can basically fund your whole campaign forever, okay? Because they're so tight-knit, it comes from a real place of fear and anger and worry, which is, the Holocaust. But these folks feel they have to do everything they can to protect Israel because it's the haven where they can escape to if there's a problem. I understand all the mentality behind it and the psychology behind it. And I also understand the fear, because a lot of it's a legitimate fear. But what I don't understand is why they think we should all have the duty to fund every nonsense military campaign their country wants to take on, or genocide for that matter. We shouldn't. And our politicians all do it because they can get their entire campaign funded.
He gave $16.6 million to Friends of the IDF, the largest donation in the organization's history. And he is reportedly close to Netanyahu himself, who once holidayed on Ellison's private Hawaiian island.
You think he's
Oracle
close?
Is on the official BDS boycott list, supplying Israel's military and government with AI, cloud, and surveillance infrastructure. But there's more. Remember this story about a certain war criminal becoming the regent of Gaza? Larry Ellison is the biggest backer behind it. He's pumped at least £250 million into the Tony Blair Institute since 2021. According to a report by Lighthouse and the New Statesman, Blair's think tank has effectively become an offshoot of Oracle. It pushes policies that merge public services with private tech.
It's crazy. It is the merging of corporate power and political power, and we're just watching it happen. It isn't good.
Being a little cute.
It's not cute.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's a rough time for our country and for the world.
Exactly what Oracle profits from. The company already has contracts with the Home Office, Department of Work and Pensions, DEFRA, and the Ministry of Justice, and is increasingly embedded in NHS data systems. Last year, Blair and Ellison appeared together in Dubai, calling for citizen data to merge into a single AI network. The data mogul's vision for the future is openly dystopian. At Oracle's analyst meeting last year, he envisioned round-the-clock monitoring of citizens by artificial intelligence through traffic cameras, doorbell cameras, and police body cams.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Larry,
you think I'm overstating it when I said this is what's coming next, the North Korean alarm bell? I mean, that's what's coming. This is the alarm every North Korean hears in the morning, 5 o'clock a.m., get out of bed, do the right thing, be monitored by your government, cameras everywhere, don't think the wrong thing, don't speak out loud, don't post the wrong thing. This is what they're going for. I mean, they're telling you this. SpaceX, I mean, the company Palantir by what's his name, Peter Thiel, who thinks Greta Thunberg is the Antichrist. These whack jobs want to record your every thought. They want to be in your mind. Yes, they do. This is what's coming. It's insane. It's insane. If you're going along with this, if you're not protesting against No Kings, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention.
Of everything.
Yeah,
Taking the reins of US TikTok's algorithm is the latest in the massive media empire Larry Ellison is building with his son David. The Ellisons already control one of the biggest news outlets in the United States, CBS. Now they're making a bid for
and they
Warner
just
Brothers,
put that Barry Weiss lady in charge of CBS. If you haven't watched the John Oliver thing, where John Oliver excoriates her, she has no experience as a journalist. She has got a fraud university that she's got a bust of herself in the front of it. It's so dystopian, all of it. It is so North Korean. I mean, really, this is what we're going to, guys. The North Korean alarm clock. I keep saying it. Yeah. That was funny, right? That stuff was funny, but pretty soon when the lights go out and we're all on camera.
Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights.
Will you be happy with your choice of Donald Trump because he was funny? Some gross stuff. All right.
But the reality is...
Moving on.
Jeffrey
Epstein. Let's see what he's got to say real quick.
But the reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys, by focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat.
They're not cute.
Grow up.
They are not a little cute.
A little cute.
Dude, let me tell you, JD, when I was younger than these boys, these gross boys that you're protecting here and defending, I was married, running a household, taking care of other people. I had real responsibilities. I wasn't like, oh, forgive me because I love Adolf Hitler. It's such a joke. It's really scary stuff. He's acting again like it's more offensive to judge someone who's an adult, who is, all adult responsibilities, who's running campaigns. These guys were running campaigns. And by the way, I know, I've seen behind the scenes, all these guys look like
I'm
this.
sorry, focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. But there's another angle to this that I just
disgusting. I mean, the Republicans are so obsessed with blue hair and all that stuff because behind the scenes, they look like this guy down here. All of them. I met so many of the ones in leadership. They're gross. Again, if I'm body shaming, so be it. They're putting themselves out there as the master race, and they're disgusting. I've met them. They smell bad. Trump smells bad. Look at Stephen Miller. They're weirdos. Look at Pete Hex's Pee Wee Herman suits. These are some ugly, weird dudes. That's why they're so angry. Okay.
Jeffrey Epstein.
One more thing, Jeffrey Epstein, because again, there's still no vote on Jeffrey Epstein because they won't swear in the Democratic Congresswoman. They won't swear her in, so we can't get a vote. But this is going to really disturb you about how crazy Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were.
Wanted Virginia to tuck him in to
Listen
bed
to this.
at night. Can you explain
this woman
what
was
that
close
was?
to one of Epstein's key victims.
Explicitly, the moment where she said to me, well, and then he was always doing that tucking in thing. And I was like, what? Wait, hold on. What do you mean? She said, well, always, particularly when we were on the island, but also in New York, he always wanted me. He said I was his special number one. He may have said that to others. I was his special number one, and he needed me to tuck him in at night. And I was like, well, was that like a euphemism for rape? And she goes, no, he didn't want sex then. He wanted me to tuck him in. So she would go in, she would pull the covers up. He didn't want to be touched other than maybe like scalp massage, foot massage, but he didn't want sex. And she was instructed to stay with him until he fell asleep.
I mean, how weird is that?
It just struck me because this is a young woman
creepy.
who wasn't nurtured all that much as she grew up. And here
super
she's
creepy.
Turning around and having to perform this nurturing act to her abuser.
Yes. And it's one of the reasons that Epstein and Maxwell said to her repeatedly, you'd make a great mother. They asked her to carry a child for them, raise the child, and forego all parental rights, sign those rights over to them. It's like a modern Handmaid's Tale. And interestingly, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for her.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Wow. I mean, that's just some creepy stuff, man. That is some creepy stuff. They wanted her to carry a baby. They wanted her to be the mom for Jeffrey Epstein. It's just weird. I mean, and Trump is defending Ghislaine Maxwell. It's like, whatever. Anyway, that's today's update. Thank you for listening. I will be at some of the protests this weekend. I think I'm going to go to the one in Niagara Falls or maybe the one in Batavia. I don't know. I'll be quiet. I can stand in the background nowadays. I try to know my role, but I'm online trying to fight for what I believe in as much as I can. And, thank you for listening every day. The viewership grows. And I try to get as much out there as I can. I don't think I'll be doing it this weekend, though. There's too much going on the 18th. And then I'm going out on the Sunday to the woods to do one live. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed I can get it done. Might be a little tricky. All right, take care, okay?